Let me not take much more time and invite our friend from Israel to share their experience with us. First, I would like to invite IRP Systems. IRP Systems specializes in innovative, high efficiency and low cost electric powertrains. We would like to welcome Mr. Amit Grover, Vice President, Business Development of IRP Systems, to present their solution and key learnings from this program. Amit, would you start screen? You're on mute.
Yes, just a second. I will share the presentation. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. Put it on a full screen, please.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, my name is Amit Grover. As I was mentioned before, I'm in the business development for IRP Systems. It is a great honor for us to be part of the iCreate SNC program and to participate in this demo day that will try to summarize the process and what we went through. About IRP is specialized in innovative, high-efficient electric powertrain. We are designing the entire powertrain in-house, meaning the motor and controller, making electric vehicle powerful and affordable. Using our technology, we are able to have very high level of efficiency, high performance, and top-level quality. At the moment, IRP is already working with top global automotive players in personal mobility, in EV, and we are looking forward to penetrate into the Indian market. The start point, actually, we started 7 weeks ago, and we established initial connections with local partners. We highly interested in this market. For us, for as many opportunities, but we see there, but was not clear for us what is the right path to get into this market. Our concern was choosing the right partner and adopting the best penetration strategy into this market. Through the process, we learned lessons through the communication with our mentors and the meetings that we have, so we much better understand of the Indian EV market and the business ecosystem. We fully understand that doing business in India requires time and patience, as the Ron Malcolm mentioned before, and local presence is very helpful. Working also with experienced mentors helping us to connect the dots. Indian is a huge market, and we really want to understand how is the right approach to get into this market. We also had the ability to access knowledge and experience via the iCreate accelerator, like report and personal tools that also help us to understand the big picture. So what are the main challenges ahead of us? So one of them is the best market approach. We took the three-wheelers as an example for us to do the market research. So to develop the best go-to-market strategy for the three-wheeler segment, we define key market players. We decide we are approaching who we are going to approach first. And also we draw an optimal value proposition and suitable product for India, because there are specific needs for the Indian market that are a bit different that we actually see in Europe and other places.
Pablo, sorry to interrupt you, but we can't see your slides changing.
You can you see it now?
No, we are still on the first slide.
Oh, really?
Maybe stop sharing and then share again.
Okay.
You can switch to the full screen mode.
Now we can.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. Please carry on.
So we were on the best market approach. We mentioned the segment that we look at it, the three-wheelers segment. We define the key market players, decide whom we are approaching first, and their own optional value proposition and suitable product for India, which is different than what we see in other places. The other challenges ahead that we have is the local partner. We are finding the right partners to establish local manufacturing capabilities. We understand in the long run that we will have to have local manufacturing capabilities made in India. So we partner with relevant knowledge and experienced companies looking to the ability to expand rapidly. We know it will not happen tomorrow morning, but we need to get ready to that. And currently we are in discussion with major local players introduced to us during the program. What is IRP's value proposition for the Indian market? So we have a proven end-to-end powertrain solution, reliable and at an affordable cost. And actually, IRP solution will help to accelerate the EV adoption in India, supporting the local electrification of vehicle and carbon footprint reduction. I think this is the main, I would say, focus for us to get into the Indian market. And we see also the government is giving incentives in order to go into that way. 1 year from now, so we actually defined that we want to achieve significant market traction with top OEMs in three-wheelers players, establish local presence with manufacturing capabilities, production scale readiness, and penetrating new segments in India like the two-wheelers, four-wheelers, and full EV. Proof of concept in India. So our plan is to have 2 new POCs with local players. We already have activities in India, but we have additional 2 POCs in our plan, and establish at least 1 commercial partner and 1 supply chain partner in the coming 9 months. So for us, we are looking into run the first production batch in India in the 9 months, and a POC converted to mass production. So this is about our experience in the program. We would like to thank very much SNC and iCreate and the mentors, Mr. BKM and Mr. Bose, for their help, and looking forward to continue working together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Amit. Can you stop sharing your screen?
Yes, sure.
But I hope that we see the commercialization agreement coming soon into the picture in the near future. With that, I would like to invite Correlata for presenting their learnings from this program. Correlata is a company which is providing data center solutions for enabling the business heads to make decisions quicker and faster. I would like to invite Mr. Pablo, VP and pre-sales, VP product and V-sales for Correlata.
Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction. I hope that you all hear me. And I just start to introduce Correlata. Correlata is an innovative IT information technologies solution that helps customers to be innovative in a way that they can analyze their IT in data centers and hybrid environments, so they can be more efficient and they can connect the IT and provide value to their business. So this is the main area of Corelata. So if I start to describe where we start in the program, we started with providing an introduction to the mentors, so they will be able to understand our solution and be able to help us to drive the information and the message to the right opportunities in the market in India. So we got a very good relationship and a very good understanding from the mentors. So we started with them to find the opportunities in India. When we started, we had already a local presence where we had a signed contract with one of the main Indian vendors. And we have also a business development representative in the ground in order to help us to find opportunities. So it was the initial state when we start the program. Why we start the program? It is very simple. First of all, we were invited, but the most important point is that we find India as an excellent market where we found that they are in a growing market, and we believe that it is a great opportunity for us to penetrate a huge opportunity. The challenges that we had the challenge to overcome with conservative approach and to make available and adopting from the Indian side new ways in order to do business. So it was the challenges that we started with when we came to the program. The failures before the program were that as we signed contracts, at the end of the day, we didn't engage with Indian customers. So the lessons that we learned during our journey were a better understanding of cultural differences. We used to make business with Europe and US, and we found that there are slight differences in the way we need to deal with the Indian market. We realize that there is a new generation in India. They are doing business in a different way than the conservative in 20 or 30 years ago. So it was a real change that we found during the journey in the program. We understood that there are different ways to engage with Indian entities. So there is joint venture, dual companies. There were a number of ways that we learn how we can deal with the Indian entities. We got also financial and regulation and taxes information, to make sure that when we engage, we know where are the issues in the regulatory aspects and taxes. We also understood that India is big. We knew it in the beginning, but we understood better that India is not one place. There are a lot of areas, a lot of people, a lot of chaos. So we need to make sure that we understand the area that we are dealing with. Just an example, an internet bandwidth, that it's not the same in all the areas in India. We also learn that we need to make sure that we may customize our messages, our collaterals, even our solution in order to penetrate the Indian market. And the last but not least, we understand that we had excellent relationship also between the leaders, but also with the ambassadors. So we believe that the relationship that came from the top level helps us to make business together, India and Israel. So the main challenges that we had were across two areas. The first one is the ecosystem. So we wanted to build, started to build the partners and find the partners, the right partners to cooperate with. Identify the right segments. We want to make sure that we are focusing on the segments that we are providing the value for them, and in order to make business. And of course, expand our local presence. We have already a representative, but our main challenge ahead is to expand and put more efforts locally. The second challenge is on the cultural differences. We have a challenge ahead that we will build the right interest, the right milestones, so we can build together the steps that will be agreed, so we can understand that we are progressing and we are doing our business in a win-win situation. The second cultural difference is to mitigate the gaps, as it was mentioned during the earlier session, that we are startups and we think different like the legacy decision makers in well-structured Indian companies. So there is a cultural difference where we need to mitigate the gaps. And the last but not least is set expectations. So we want to make sure that the expectations are met, so there will be no surprises in the next steps. The value proposition of Correlata is bringing a unique concept to the Indian market. So companies can put their efforts and investments moving from a reactive solutions to a proactive approach, so they can analyze their IT investments and efforts in data centers and hybrid environments, so they can be more efficient, meet their compliant and SLAs and regulations, so they can provide much more value to their organizations. Where we are planning 1 year from now. So our expectations is that we will build solid relationship with local Indian entities, which is partners, customers. So after 1 year, we can base on it, on this success. So we can say, hey, we have a success, see our achievement, see our success. So we can base on it in order to expand the business for others, customers, segments, and so on. So this is a year from now. So what we are doing at the moment, what were our achievements in India over the past 1.5 months during our journey? We negotiate and signing an agreement with one of a local Indian company. It is focusing on the analytics segment. We believe this is a great segment that we are working on, and combining our analytics solution with other analytics in the market will enhance the way the partner and us as an analytics solution will provide a better solution to the market. The second initiative is that we are still working with subsidiaries of global companies that are in India as well. So we have contact with them. So the main idea is to make sure that they can identify our value and promote our solution in India, of course. And because they are global companies, it may affect other areas in the world. The last slide is the most important one, because I believe that we had the opportunity to work with a great team, and I thank you all Namaste, shalom, and I hope that this program will be just a starting point in a long journey. As always, or a lot of people are saying, we are in a marathon, but we need to start from the beginning. So it was a great beginning, and I hope that the team will help us to have more opportunities, more success, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Pablo. I'm sure that you'll succeed and we are here for you. I specifically loved your slide which says lesson learned from the Israel from this program, because it kind of summed up our learnings as well about both the different ecosystems. Now I would want to invite Django Connectivity. Django Connectivity offers driver and in-cabin monitoring solution which enables automakers to create safer cars today and transition into an autonomous vehicle for tomorrow. Let me welcome their business development manager, Mr. Gill, to start presenting and share with us.
Hi, everyone. First and foremost, thank you so much for hosting us today in this panel. It's a great privilege to be here today and presenting to you guys and participating in this important program. So a little bit about Django and where we started off 6 weeks ago. So firstly, Django is a leader in AI software for in-cabin sensing, where we're using cameras in order to provide multiple vehicle applications for both aftermarket and pre-market, involving automotive OEMs and also commercial fleets. 7 weeks ago, we had very partial understanding about commercial fleets in India, who are the key players, how to best approach them, and how to, get inside and understand their pain and how Django can solve it. Another thing that we had very low information on is the contacts with automotive tier ones and OEMs, and approaching them, and even getting to the point of, just saying who Django is and what we're all about is very hard, as automotive tier ones and OEMs are large corporates, and finding the relevant people in any country, not only in India, is a challenge by itself. Another concern we had about the market is how to plan our strategy, whether to go to the OEMs first, or would it be wiser to go to the aftermarket first? So we really needed, the people who understand the Indian market and how the key players work, in order to help us and guide us through all the starting points that we need to do in order to start the engagements. Another starting point where we had very low information on is what should we focus on, because Django can provide a very large variety of applications, whether it's safety, comfort, well-being, or just plain out being cost-effective in the market. And so it was kind of like a big challenge on understanding exactly what should we focus on in order to better approach potential customers. What we've learned from this fantastic program is how innovative and how advanced India is in the automotive perspective. We gained a lot of information, understanding that this is a very fast, rapid growing market with a lot of key players, a lot of vehicles being manufactured. Whether it's with the OEMs or in the resale market, where we can establish our aftermarket solutions. We also understand that the two-wheeler market is also tremendously evolving and growing, and this is something that eventually led Django to think about how we can engage this market as well, in order to get more traction. Another lesson that we learned, and I think this is one of the most important one, is don't fly solo. The local point of contacts in India can be of great value to any company, any field in India. And I think this is exactly what the iCreate and SNC teams did here. They actually provided a fruitful soil, which many of the companies here can grow out of, and start to find the right connections and start the right engagements. And having iCreate holding our hands before meetings and after meetings, giving us their perspective, their points of view, their understanding is highly valuable to any company who wants to start engaging with Indian companies. And I couldn't thank them enough for doing this for Django. Something that was mentioned here quite oftenly is slow and steady wins the race. Patience is key when engaging in the Indian market. You need to have a long and standing relationship built up first. And I think this is something that the iCreate and SNC teams also emphasize throughout the sessions and the one-on-one meetings. Um, and again, we're in it for the long run. I think everyone here mentioned this is a marathon, and you need to keep holding your breath and saving your energies, and understanding that the end of the line is far away, but you need to enjoy the entire run. And this is exactly my feeling about this program. Another important lesson which we learned is that you need to have both feet on the ground when it comes to India. So from our experience as a software company, we thought, it will be easy to manage everything remotely, but we understood that this is not the way to go. It's inevitable going local in India. And at some point of time, you're gonna have to be there physically, establishing your own business. In India, and in order to do so, there are many governments incentives in order to do so. So not only is this process mandatory at the end of the day, there's also the opportunity to do so. There's also encouragement from India for you to go and open your own business there, go local, and grow from the inside. And I think this is one of the most important lessons that Django has learned from this fantastic program. One of our main challenges in the India market is understanding that price is sensitive, and Django had to find the to flex out their business model in order to accommodate this sensitive market, and understanding that on the long term we can lower the cost, we can find the right path that will be beneficial for both companies, whether it's for Django or for our customers, holding hands and being there for the long run, where we can each make profit and be successful in our own fields. And because there are so many points of penetration in this market, SNC and iCreate helped us to understand what we should focus on, what we should do, whether it's in the aftermarket commercial fleets, where we had valuable connections being made by the teams, finding the right people within those companies, which I mentioned is a challenge by itself. I think they did an amazing job in finding those right connections. And the same thing goes for the OEMs and tier ones, for the pre-market market that we are targeting. And this allowed us to grow our ecosystem significantly in very short time. So I think that by itself is absolutely amazing, the accomplishments that we have been able to do with this program. And another challenge is, as I mentioned, going local. So collaboration with hardware manufacturers or fleet management services who are already operating in India for the aftermarket section is also key. And this is something that we have been starting to look at and starting to understand through this program. And I think the last challenge I think that we are focusing on is the regulation side. I know that regulation in Europe is changing rapidly, and in India, it takes a little bit more time in order for things to change. But this is also changing in a larger aspects as India understands that regulation should be more easy and flexible, and we can see that happening. But also entering the market before regulation kicks in will provide an advantage at the end of the day to us as a company, and also provide us the opportunity to actually lead the market and set the bars. So I think it's a big challenge, but also a great opportunity. Django's value proposition in India involves around our innovative products and making it affordable for the driver monitoring systems in India, where the value can be seen not only for the people who will be using the software, which are the end users, the drivers themselves, but also to the fleet managers who are interested in getting more information about the drivers and saving money, and also for the tier ones and OEMs having innovative products and growing inside of India to be more innovative in the automotive perspective. What we can offer is basically reducing the accident rates in India by providing the real-time alerts to the drivers. And I think saving lives is something that every country is trying to do for their own citizens. But more than that, we can also save money on insurance claims for the fleet. So it's not only good in a global scale or when talking about saving lives, but also there's a cost effectiveness to this equation. Additional value can be added to any existing fleet management providers, which can allow the existing products to be smarter and more innovative than they already are, growing the innovation in India. And also, most importantly, the opportunity to build our own aftermarket solutions in India by collaborating with manufacturers in India, and actually going local, whether it's a joint venture or establishing our own business at the end of the day. Where we see ourselves 1 year from now is hopefully piloting with one of the leading fleets in India, or establishing a POC in the pre-market with a leading OEM or tier one in India. I think that's our short-term goals. And as far as our long-term goals is basically to create the opportunity of manufacturing in India locally, providing solutions from within India to India, and basically going local and finding the right key players, work with them in order to grow the market and be successful. And last but not least, I would like to thank all the parties involved in this fantastic project. This has been truly eye-opening in so many levels, allowing us to better understand the Indian market, and planning the strategy ahead, and also making new and awesome friends, and making fantastic connections. And I really couldn't thank you enough for this program. And I'm looking forward to the near and far future, where I'm sure we can accomplish great and wonderful things. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Gil. We understand that your solution is very early into the market, but your patience and your listening ability is definitely going to take you way ahead. We look forward to still help you further with further in the market, and we are here for you anytime.
Thank you so much.
I would like to invite now Sion Technologies, founded in 2015. Sion Technology develops an advanced laboratory analytical instruments. Let's welcome Mr. Roni Gordana to share with us their learnings.
Just a second. Good afternoon, namaste. I'm Roni Gordana from Sion Technologies. We develop a destructive technology for laboratories. Huge market, huge opportunity to the Indian markets and for all of us. I would say a little bit, a few words about our technology, about the need. Our technology is hydrogen is the best choice for capillary gas chromatograph due to diffusivity and broad working range. But of course, as you know, as you can see here, it's not safe. Hydrogen is not safe, so No jugad here. Our patent enables the use of hydrogen as a gas carrier for the GC, and it will replace the very expensive helium. Our units are plug and use to and connect to any kind of gas chromatograph, and this is not hydrogen generator. So where we started. Before that, I want you to meet some of our current clients in Israel. We finalized our development, let's say about 2 years ago. We wrote a patent and we started in Israel. It's like a beta site for the whole world, as Ron Malka said before, the ambassador. We started to do proof of concept in several areas. What was significant with them is that all of them is heavy users of gas chromatograph, so they can benefit very much from the cost cutting by using our technology. So we did this with pharmaceutical companies like Teva and Perrigo, that is the world companies, paint manufacturer, the biggest in Israel, chemical pesticides for agriculture, Adama. Adama also have, I think, the second biggest large company for pesticides for agriculture in India, world's largest elemental bromine producer, detergent manufacturer, and of course, petrochemicals companies in Israel, the biggest in Israel. So we are talking about making the validation together with them. And after they saw that they are enjoying this unique added value that we are bringing, they become our customers. And now after we did that, we are going to the starting point. We decided, after the success story that we have in Israel, we decided to penetrate the Indian market. It was about 3 months ago. And a few weeks later, we got accepted to this unique accelerator together with iCreate and SNC Israel. And of course, the fabulous mentors that we had from both sides in that accelerator. My personal starting point with India was 25 years ago with a very, very unique mentor, as you can see here, His Highness Dr. Abdul Kalam. That was my first mentor to the Indian market in the defense field 25 years ago. So we know that India is a vast country, a huge country, but we didn't know which segment, which area to penetrate first in order to show our added value. We were afraid not to find the correct and suitable partner. We were concerned of the way to start the market validation, whether to use local distributor or demonstrate with a company that can adopt our excellent experience we had in the Israeli market. We were concerned of the high tariffs and of course, of the price sensitivity of the Indian market. Lesson learned from this accelerator, it was much beyond that, but the Indian market has huge potential, much bigger than what we thought in the beginning when we thought to get to India, and very much price sensitive. We was happy to see that the ease of doing businesses for new foreign companies entering Indian market. And although India is a price sensitive market, it is ready for adoption of new technologies and rewarding in terms of business volume. Our main challenge ahead, actually how to penetrate the Indian market and duplicate our success stories from Israel to the Indian market in each one of the fields that you saw before. We need to pursue the ongoing discussion with some of the Indian companies we met during the accelerator, choosing the companies to start with. We are struggling between small step doing validation process versus massive penetration with several distributors in India. And we want to find the right and trustworthy partner for establishing long-term manufacturing relationship. So our value proposition to the Indian market, the company that will switch to our technology will save money, will save time, extend the machine life, have a return on investment up to 100% during the first year, enjoy employee health and safety, and comply with international safety standard and environmental standard. So how it will be done? Saving money by switching to hydrogen from helium. You will save, this will be the big chunk of the money. You will save about 95% of the cost of the helium that you are using. Because of that, we are looking for the heavy users of the helium. So this is one way to save the money. The second one, you don't need the infrastructure. It's only plug and play. And it's also will save you time, not to spend time about building the infrastructure of the laboratory with all the pipes and things like that. And also we will extend machine life. And we will extend machine life because our system will moderate the pressure and temperature for some application, by using hydrogen actually. So it will lower the stress of the machine, so we can extend the machine life that is very, very expensive. All this will give us a return on investment up to 100% during the first year. And how it will save time? It will save time, first of all, because dramatically increase your GC throughput by reducing analysis GC time. So it will be about half of the time doing the analysis of the GC. And this will also can cost and can save you a lot of money, because sometimes you don't need to buy the next GC. You can handle with only one, because you can almost double the emission through that GC. So it will be all together. Enjoy employee health and safety, very, very important. And this one we will do, since no hazard escape gases from the gas chromatograph anymore. We will eliminate all the escape gases, so people can breathe freely at the laboratory and not breathe those dangerous gases that is coming out of the gas chromatograph. And of course, we are complying with the international safety standard and environmental standard. Without that, no one of the Israeli companies will accept us in his laboratory. And after having that for the last 2 years, we have feel very encouraged to come to the international market. In 1 year from now, Siontech will build 3 to 4 distributor networks for its technology throughout India. We are planning to conduct 10 validation with 10 different companies that can enjoy the Israeli successful story. And I'm talking to take a similar company, but bigger, with a higher potential, like we did with the Israeli success stories that I showed you before. We will take the same chemical company, same pharmaceutical company, and we will do the same trick for them, that they will actually have the same added value and believe in our product. And we believe that in the first year, we will sell 25 units. So by adopting our technology and enjoying our added value, our client will enjoy both. Also saving cost, also saving life of the workers throughout many main sector in the Indian industry. Thank you very much. I want to thank to this unique platform that we joined to. It was a privilege to join to that platform, Startup Nation Central and iCreate. We enjoyed the mentorship. We enjoyed all the connection, and we learned a lot about the Indian market. Thank you very much. And you can connect us through all these channels that you can see here. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Roni. I hope that the agreement comes into place quicker, and then you can we are here to welcome you in India soon.
Thank you.
I would like to invite you now, Mr. Tubia, from Nano Motion. Nano Motion offers a precision motion control and automation solution using piezoelectric motors. Their motors and motion solutions are suitable for diversified range from applications ranging from optronics to semiconductor, from medical to metrology. I'd like to invite ex-CTO, Mr. Tubia, from Nano Motion to present the learnings from the program.
Thank you very much. I just will switch to presentation mode. Okay, so let's start. So a bit about Nano Motion. Nano Motion was established in 1992. We are designing, manufacturing, and marketing piezo ceramic motor and electronics and motion system, full motion system. In 2005, we became a business unit of the giant Johnson Electric Corporation. It's a $3.6 billion corporation that have vast activities in India. We are primarily serving three main markets. We are in the semiconductor industry doing test and inspection tools and analytical instrumentation. We are in the medical industry doing non-magnetic systems and the very precise dispensing systems and other motion for digital microscopy. And we are in the defense space and commercial electronic industry, providing variety of products from shutters, focus and zoom systems, and our unique line of payloads, of sensing payloads. So let's talk a bit about the starting point that we were at before we entered the accelerator. So we had a little bit of activity in India, but very little revenue and very little opportunities. We have had lack of appropriate connection, which led to the little revenue. Our pricing methodology was a bit off, and we lack of feet on the ground. All of our marketing and sales activity were done or remotely or via some third party. We also had incorrect evaluation. The Indian market progressing slow. Here, I think that I'm not saying the exact same things that my colleagues in the other companies said, but we felt that India is progressing faster than we expected, actually. And Nano Motion knew that the Indian market represent very significant opportunity, and they are also open and looking for advanced and enabling technology and for cooperations to make synergies. And we believe that now it's the perfect timing for Nano Motion to create value, mostly through our payloads for drone, because we know that India is the fastest adapter for drone technologies from the market research that we conducted. And we believe that now is the perfect time. Let's speak about what we got from this accelerator, all of our valuable lessons learned. So we learned that Indian market has enormous potential and is very open to innovative, very open to technologies, very open to ideas, very open to business models, to different business models. We've learned that the civil and private company are moving relatively fast, faster than we expected. They are free of bureaucracy. This is upon to the experience that we had with governmental companies that are a bit slower and have more bureaucracy. We learned that the Indian market is ready. Is ready here. Is ready for adaptation of the latest technology. And this is great for us because we are the latest technology. We are the innovation. And with the help of iCreate, we have managed to get very deep understanding of the Indian ecosystem. It's all of the sessions that brought up different specialists in their field were wonderful, and we learned a lot about the ecosystem, about the uniqueness. And in the result line, we have managed to have more meetings than we have in the past few years together. So this is a very important point. Let's speak about our main challenges a bit. So Nano Motion, as you see in the first slide, we are serving a lot of industries and defense, medical, space, semiconductor, the UAV industry. And we have also very wide product range. You can see here in the presentation, we have very light 0.5 grams up to 30 kilograms systems. And this is multiplications that makes us hard to focus. Also, the use cases, we have Zoom for defense, Zoom for medical. Also, the use cases are different. This means that we have to focus our efforts. We have to focus, put a foot on the door, get our first product in India, and then go ahead and broaden our offering there. What we, in order to mitigate this risk or this challenge, we are planning to focus in the beginning on presenting our sensing payload segment. We also had several very useful, very important meetings that iCreate team have arranged to us, and we are thankful for this. Second challenge is that our products are unique. When we are talking basically more of on the motor side and our small systems, they are unique and they need to be integrated in the very beginning of each project, basically in the R&D phase. And we have to find the right timing to present our product and to get into projects. So how we mitigate this risk? Actually, with the help of iCreate team, we have managed to find companies that are exactly in this phase, in the R&D phase, which is the perfect stage for us to present our product and to get into a new business. And the third challenge, I think it's very common to all of other companies in this forum, is to make more connection, to open more doors to companies that can use our benefits, our solutions, and because this is really unfamiliar market for NanoMotion. So how we will mitigate it? We are exploring, and we also have a grant basically from Israeli government to hire a local salesperson to penetrate the market, to be our representative, to be our foot on the ground. Let's speak about our value proposition in India and to India. So we are seeking for partnership and cooperation with Indian companies. Both of the sides can benefit from the value that our product is providing. And we are looking for mutual business success, customers, partnerships. We are welcome them all. And we are considering, because we know that India has a really profound know-how in mass production, we are also looking for partnerships in the production area. We are exploring this, how we can move some of the production, some of the components to be made in India, because we want to benefit from it. It's not just a statement. We know that the Indians are very strong in providing mass production, and we want to be a part of it. How we are picturing NanoMotion success or NanoMotion in general in India in 1 year from now. So we want to demonstrate our unique added value to potential users and customers. We want to conduct demos in order to demonstrate this value. And of course, like every other company, we would like to close deals with those companies and to allow them cost-effective missions. What is our typical use? Defense, agriculture, farming, search and rescue, homeland security, border protection, and more. I didn't have the space to write all of our use case only for the payloads. And basically anything that needs real-time situational awareness and want to reduce their cost emissions. Also, afterwards, as I spoke before, our technology will be enabler for space, defense, and medical industries that we know that are being developed in India. And we think and we believe and we know that they will benefit the Indian market and the India technology. A bit about our proof of concept in India, what we are planning to do. We would like to demonstrate wide area coverage from a drone or from another UAV. We would like to do it in India. We would like to focus on the sectors that you see in the presentation, which are already talked about in my previous slide: defense, HLS, agriculture, search and rescue, disaster relief, firefighting, police, and drone service provider, which is very, very important. And afterwards, also the medical, space, and semiconductor companies that have a R&D initiative at India. We would like to do it in a timeline of about 6 to 9 months. We think that this is rational to get into those companies, maybe not to close deals, but to close demos to show our value for sure. And our KPIs to prove that we have managed to do it is to establish significant partnership, both in the production and in the business, with drone initiative and drone service providers and other companies. I would like to thank you. Shalom, namaste. And actually, I would like to stop sharing my screen because I want to see you all. This is something personal from our heart. The past 6 weeks were amazing journey, and we would like to very much thank you all for your dedication, for your help, for your process that we went through together. And we know, I don't believe, I know that this will bring a very fruitful relationship for both countries and business success. All of the team, thank you very much. Thank you. And namaste.
Thank you very much, Tuvia. I guess without you guys, this program would have not been possible. So thank you very much for your dedication and your time which you guys have put in to make this successful. I'll welcome Siddharth now again to give us the more to hear the industry and the corporate side of the feedback as well.
Thanks, Avni. Now that we have come to this stage of the program, where we have witnessed the kind of learnings and the kind of opportunities that have been opened up for the Israeli innovators and the Indian corporations to work together. Now, I would like to invite a few of the industry partners who had met the innovators from Israel through this platform to share their experience about the kind of collaborations they see that are possible and the kind of tech cooperation that is possible between them. So to go first, we'd like to put up a video that we received from one of the industry partners. He couldn't make it for this event, but it is the Chief Technology Officer from Sona Comstar. I'd request my team to put up the video that we received.
About to be hit by the biggest mega trend since Henry Ford introduced the assembly line: electrification. As we see all three main stakeholders, the regulators, the customers, and the automakers fully embracing this change, electrification of vehicles is sure to become immutable and inevitable. It will do to the automotive industry what the internet did to the retail industry 25 years ago, erasing most incumbents' existing advantages. In this brave new world of new problems, new ways are required to solve them. We at Sona Comstar took this plunge in 2016 and invested in R&D to come up with several unique products for the local and global electric vehicle industry. However, while doing so, we encountered many hurdles, one of them being freeing India of its dependence on other countries for critical raw materials that go into these high-tech machines. We import magnets made of rare earth metals for the electric drive motors that we make for electric vehicles. Not only are these materials expensive due to their complex extraction process, but they also create environmental problem on account of their acidic and radioactive byproducts. To overcome this impediment, we ask ourselves why we could not make these motors without magnets. And to pursue this audacious idea, we turn to iCreate. For a long time, I have been in awe of Israel's innovation ecosystem. Having seen a highly innovative society, strong R&D capabilities, and a highly educated and skilled workforce during my visits to Israel, I knew where to go for solving our problem. iCreate took the challenge thrown at them and quickly found many potential partners from Israel to co-develop a motor that will run flawlessly, yet without magnets. iCreate has mastered the process of identifying the potential partners, shortlisting the one best suited for the specific concern, and ironing out any misunderstandings that might come up during the engagement. I wish to place on the record my deep appreciation of iCreate for being a perfect matchmaker for us. I'm sure that with our Israeli partner, we'll give the world an electric machine that uses environmentally sustainable materials and has the best-in-class performance. Thank you.
We'd like to extend our gratitude to Mr. Kiran Deshmukh for representing Sona Comstar on this platform and exploring the opportunities of collaborating with Israeli innovators. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Vinay Kumar, the CEO of DataWise Management Services Private Limited. DataWise Group is a leading research and analytics services company that leverages data to derive meaningful insights for their customers. And may I now invite Mr. Vinay Kumar to share his experience of meeting their potential partners on this platform.
Good afternoon to all of you. It's been a pleasure. For the last 2 hours I've been listening. Can you all see me? Okay. So it's been a pleasure listening to all of you for the last 2 hours. I've been listening non-stop, and I feel envious that I was not part of other conversations. Some of them are so exciting that I feel I probably have missed out on those conversations. But kudos to the iCreate team for bringing in such fantastic propositions on one platform. As Siddharth has already mentioned, we work deeply in the space of data analytics, our core presence being in India and in the US. And we find it very, very exciting that we have been able to come across a company like Correlata, which kind of complements what we do. The biggest challenge that the Indian ecosystem today faces is that there is a huge concentration on improving software solutions, improving better applications, creating better applications. And in the process, we as an industry or as an ecosystem have not given enough emphasis to the hardware side of things. Even as a company today, DataWise core focus remains on data analytics, which is on the application of data. But we know that sizing of servers, optimization of servers, improving their performance has always been a challenge. India is a resource conscious society. I'll not say, some of you said that we look for price consciousness. No, I don't think that's right. I think we try to optimize whatever resources are used. So I know we keep doing that. We're great bargainers. I know we like to bargain a lot. And I know we like to drive good bargains. But I think at the end of the day, the black box that remains for most companies today is the ability to look at their sizing of their hardware. And hardware sizing typically has been a static one-time affair rather than a dynamic continuous affair. What we saw with Correlata and what got us pretty excited is the fact that this was a solution which was going to help in continuously evaluating where your servers are and whether they will be able to match up to your current data needs or not. And we are not in that space, but we are exactly on the other side of the table where we know that a whole lot of data is getting generated and we don't know whether the data can be stored, is being optimally stored, or is something getting lost. So we found this to be an excellent partnership between ourselves and Correlata. We've been having, thanks to iCreate, we've been having several discussions with the team of Correlata. And I think we have reached a point where we have an agreement on way forward. The market in India is huge, especially when we talk about not the large players, but the middle to slightly larger size players. I would think the potential would not be less than 10,000 plus companies. which potentially meet the requirement. So we're pretty excited with what's being done there, with what's the possibility. We're pretty excited with the possibility of working together with Corlat and their team. And we thank iCreate and in specific Dr. VKM and Siddharth for navigating us through this path. I know India and Israel come from two completely different cultures, completely different markets. But I think that there is a common meeting ground with the kind of talent, with the kind of technology which Israel brings in and the kind of market that India brings in. I think there's a great partnership that can happen. Thank you so much, and namaste.
Thank you, Vinay sir. Next, may I invite Mr. Ram Natarajan, the CEO of Krishna Maruti Group, one of the leading manufacturer of auto components for the leading OEMs in India.
Thank you, Siddharth. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me to speak in this August forum. Krishna Group is a $1 billion USD tier 1 supplier of interior parts and sheet metal parts to Maruti Suzuki and many other customers. We have about 36 plants spread across the country. We are a JV of Maruti Suzuki. So as a part of the product diversification process, we were put in touch, that is ourselves and Jingo Connectivity were put in touch by Dr. Krishnamurthy. And we're very thankful to him for that. I'm glad to share that our experience with Jingo Connectivity was extremely pleasant, professional, and useful. The representatives were very transparent. They could build a high degree of trust within a very short time. And myself and my colleagues were very impressed with their technical capabilities, with their design superiority, and a comprehensive solution and a cost-effective solution that they could offer. The discussion has started between ourselves and Maruti Suzuki because these decisions are taken by the R&D of Maruti Suzuki. So we are in the process of this discussion. While it will take a while for them to come to a conclusion, after all, they have many competing products and they're known to prefer products of Japanese origin. However, ultimately the decision is always taken based on product superiority. So we are hopeful that something will emerge. While that may take a while, the point here is that now the India-Israeli Innovation Accelerator has created a platform, beautiful platform, I must say, for like-minded companies to start interacting with each other. So I thank them as well as iCreate for their initiative, and I'm sure many collaborations will emerge as a result of this. Moreover, it's a win-win situation for both countries, where we badly need new enterprises, not only to solve problems, but also to provide employment, to kickstart the economy in a way, I must say, comes at the right time. So I really sincerely thank all those involved in this initiative, thank the organizers for this conference, and I convey my best wishes to them. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Natarajan, for taking your time to represent Krishna Maruti Group on this platform. And before I invite our next partner from the industry, I'd like the attendees of this event to put in their queries in the chat box so that we can take them up after we are concluding the proceedings of this event. Now may I invite Mr. Nilesh from Bharat Forge. He is leading the Defense and Aerospace Division for Bharat Forge.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar and Shalom. I think it's a privilege to be here with such august gathering. And it's a very interesting conversation and discussion that I've been listening to. And very frankly, to me, this whole interaction started because our corporate finance guys gave me a call saying, hey, listen, there is an iCreate, an organization, they would like to interact and discuss and see how things can move. And frankly, I walked in pretty blind in terms of, how that interaction would go. But it was very interesting. It was something, and I don't know how, maybe there is an AI technology being used at the back end. But the fact is, the fit in terms of the product and the solutions that I was looking for was exactly what was being discussed with NanoMotion, and it was very interesting. And from that perspective, it did solve one big issue, and I believe will be one of the biggest advantage of this forum, where the two nations are coming together, is the fact that access to tier 3, tier 4, the real startups and some cutting edge, or lately the way it's called bleeding edge, not cutting edge, technologies, that probably will be something that India can work with as a country. Of course, we are a large market, but the fact remains is to get this going in the right fashion and in a manner where we can solve problems. And I think that I see as a great, the utility and advantage of this forum. And seriously, at times, it's also an issue of access of these companies being able to actually interact and work in a very productive manner with companies who need those products or technologies. So I think my view is that this is a super forum. I just had one interaction so far, and I'm looking forward to multiple, because there are many areas on the technology side that we work very actively, and we would like, and as a matter of fact, Bharat Forge, which is a $3 billion group, which does a lot of work on the forging side that we talk about, but we do a lot of other things, including a lot of very cutting edge work that happens, especially on the EV side, or especially when you're looking at, the defense areas, where in the last 10 years, we've created amazing products and platforms for the Indian defense requirements. So from that perspective, I think this is a fantastic forum where a lot of minds can meet and the market can meet the technology, so to speak. And I guess we should continue this effort and would be glad to participate as we go along and move forward. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to the interactions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nilesh sir, for being with us on this platform. Now may I request Dr. Anand from Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone. Dr. Anand is the CEO of Medivalley Incubator at AMTZ.
Thank you. Thanks, Siddharth. So as Siddharth introduced, we are a part of Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone. So we host about 67 companies in the field of health technology. So spread across a 270-acre campus. And our campus currently manufactures over 500,000 diagnostic kits, COVID diagnostic kits a day. And, and again, surgical mask, N95 mask. And that's one part. And then we also do superconductive magnets, for MRI machines we manufacture. And this is one thing. And we also have common scientific facilities like 3D printing, world-class 3D printing machines, and our TUV certifications for biomaterials and EMI, EMC, gamma irradiation facility, ETO facility, and injection molding facility, and much more. So, but I just like to share my interactions with iCreate's team in this. First of all, it's a great platform for India-Israel innovation acceleration. This is going to enable the technology collaboration and cooperation between innovation and all this startup ecosystems. In particular, our ecosystem, Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zones, attention was drawn to NanoMotion, again, as some of you mentioned, to piezoelectric motors for precision controls, really. So I'll list out my projects quickly, but it opens up a great scope of accuracy in a wide spectrum of applications, a range of medical instruments to security control devices. And our confidence limits really goes up when you build R&D in this technology. So we do have a lot of health technology projects where a technical partnership and support from iCreate would be highly encouraged. Our projects on robotic multi-arm systems for ENT, head, neck surgery, and robot-assisted tumor surgeries, and even manufacturing of ultrasound machines, CT scan tubes, and MRI machines, and MRI superconductive magnetic coil, ventilators, and OCT machines, and all diagnostic equipment. In all these, we really like to bring iCreate at the design stage itself. So it's not just it's going to strengthen our ecosystem, but it's going to make the product end-to-end completion time more quicker, offering high confidence and high quality. Thank you for the opportunity, Dr. VKM and Siddharthi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anand, for representing AMTZ. Now may I invite Ms. Maheen Khan, who's leading the acceleration and partnerships for Mathworks.
Thank you, Siddharth. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. Special thanks to Siddharth and the iCreate team for the invitation. As Siddharth mentioned, I am an accelerator evangelist at Mathworks. I manage our startup accelerator program in India. And firstly, I want to congratulate both the SNC and iCreate team on a very successful initiative. As startup ecosystem enablers in different countries, this is exactly the kind of platform that is needed to open access to new markets, insights, networking opportunities, and more for startups. And the event, right from the panel discussion and the pitches, has been extremely insightful. So thank you for having us here. Coming to Mathworks, Mathworks, as many of you know, is the leading developer of mathematical computing software. Our flagship tools being MATLAB and Simulink. We also make 100+ add-on tools for a range of different capabilities. We work with 90,000+ commercial, government, and academic organizations worldwide, catering to over 20+ industries. We have a global accelerator program in place to support startups to help open access to these industry standard tools. And we work with 400 partners globally, with over 100 in India and 25 in Israel. And iCreate has been a partner with us for close to a year now. And this means all of the startups at iCreate and its programs have free access to our entire tool chain, technical support, free online trainings, discounted trainings, joint marketing opportunities with Mathworks, and more. And I'm very happy that the Mathworks team had the opportunity to interact with Amit and team, who are working on developing electric powertrain systems for e-mobility platforms. And I think many speakers before me, including Ambassador Singla, earlier mentioned that e-mobility has been a focus, and we can probably safely say that electrification is now a mega trend, and we're slowly moving towards the electrification of everything. And the team has rightly identified the electric vehicle revolution in India as being led by the 2- and 3-wheeler market, which is a massive opportunity for any startup in the EV space currently in the Indian market. And if you just look at the statistics, the share of the EV startup ecosystem in 2019 was just at 0.5%, and it is estimated to grow to 5.8% by 2030. And it beautifully ties into the Indian government policies around climate. So a lot of good potential here. And Mathworks is also heavily invested in electrification. One of the top industries that we work with is automotive, and we work with all of the top companies in this space, and as well as startups. And we support them in various applications such as battery management systems, electric powertrain, vehicle dynamics, charging infrastructure, and more. And what we're trying to do is translate our experience of working with the top automotive companies and bring that experience in working with young startups, and with programs like the India-Israel Innovation Accelerator platform, and stakeholders like iCreate and SNC Israel, bringing tool providers like Mathworks in. It is a great opportunity for startups, and also a chance for all of us to really make an impact. So we look forward to continuing to work with iCreate, its programs, and startups. Once again, congratulations to the teams. Best of luck to all the startups in this cohort, and we're honored to have been included on this platform. Thank you very much. Back to you, Siddharth.
Thank you so much, Maheen, for being there with us today, representing Mathworks. Now may I invite Mr. Dilip Shah, who is the Senior Vice President for Quality Control with Intas Pharmaceuticals.
Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you, Siddharth, for inviting me. and I have interacted with 1 or 2 times with you for the demo of UCS 1000. So it's a nice to explain the virtual demo and query reply, technical query reply in front of you. So straight away from say technical point of view, yes, it's a good device to control the analytical instruments, critical analytical instrument like GC with the low cost and high safety features. But we need to calculate some ROI, and I'm associated with pharma. So majority in pharma people are using the Natarajan. So how it will be benefited to us? So that needs to be discussed. Regarding the benefit of users, yes, I've seen and searched literature, and it will be definitely lower cost with higher accuracy. Will be benefited to us, since everybody knows in pharma everybody is in hurry. So every time we have to cater the load. But by this, if we can reduce the runtime, we can increase the output, and then unnecessary due, we can avoid the unnecessary due pressures. Regarding the benefit of industries, as Ronnie has raised this question. So definitely you have a wide scope for this UCS 1000, because your device is used in a multiple industries like pharma, petrochemicals, pesticides, chemicals. So that will be benefited and wide scope for you to penetrate yourself in Indian market. And regarding my interaction with the Siddharth, yes, I feel the words of Narendra Modi for new business entrepreneur comes in one platform. So first of all, thank you, and welcome you people for all these new technologies in India. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you so much, Disha. It is a great privilege to have the representation from the Indian industry on this platform of India-Israel Innovation Accelerator, and that your willingness to explore the partnerships with the cutting-edge technologies coming from Israel reassures our faith that we can keep on continuing such collaborations and more attracting more technologies to India in the coming days. So with this, I'd like to hand it over to Mr. Anupam Jalote and invite any questions from the audience. To the startup companies.
Thank you, Siddharth. I think if we have any questions in the audience, this would really be a good moment. Or if you write in your questions, we'll make sure that considered replies are sent to you, including the very specific feasibility question posed to Scientech. That also will get an appropriate response. So I would like Vered to sum up, and then with your permission, Siddharth, draw this event to a close, if all right with everybody. Vered? You're on mute.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Siddharth, and thank you very much for all the audience. And I really appreciate many of you to staying more than 2 hours. And it was amazing to hear many different perspectives. So thank you very much, and we are looking forward to continue to collaborate. And Siddharth and Avani, I'm sure that, I will miss you every day, every morning that I'm starting the day with messages from you, because, that it's 2.5 hour distance. So you start the day before us. And so thank you so much, all of you.
Yoni, Dr. BKM, Rajiv, thank you so much. Thank you so very, very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.